What do you think the story last night was?
Well, I mean, the story going in were the big guys and how many of them there were at the top of the draft. But I think, after watching it last night, there were a bunch of good players in it. I wish I could say who I think were going to be the best. I mean, you have beliefs, but I thought at the end of the night, I was really interested in the guards, and this is a 3-point shooting spread floor game, and the longer the draft board, the more I was thinking, Luka Doncic made a pretty good case to go number one overall in today's game, and same thing with I don't say number one, but like Trae Young and Colin Sexton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Some of those guys that are guards may have bigger impacts than the big guys, even though the big guys can all run, they're all mobile, they can all step away. They're not the old school sort of back to the basket anchor, low post guys, but I still think the guards are going to wind up having pretty big impacts in this thing.
Yeah, no, it's so difficult, obviously, to say. For instance, 2 years ago, if walking off the NFL draft set, hey, who's going to start Week 1? Nobody would have said Carson Wentz. Nobody. In the same way, last year, who's going to be the best? Oh yeah, Donovan Mitchell's going to be the best. What do you think about Fitz, though? Who do you think was drafted and like, the system they run and the players that they have around him? This kid has a chance to really have a great rookie campaign. Jay?
I didn't see anybody that stood out that way, Rich, as far as – because I think you're right. Like, I wouldn't have said last year when Donovan Mitchell was taken 13th, well, there's a guy who's going to start and he'll be a Rookie of the Year candidate. I just didn't view him that way. I didn't think he'd be able to shoot it that well all year long and take over. But I will tell you this. I mean, I went to college with Quinn Snyder. We were teammates in college. We've been friends for 30 years. And after the draft last year, I got a text from him saying, what do you think of Mitchell? And I texted him back and said, I think he's really good. I think you guys got a good player. And if I remember right, he texted back something to the effect of, we think he can be like Russell Westbrook. And I was like, what? Really? Like, why didn't you tell me that? That would have been nice to know before the draft. But I know why they didn't, because they didn't want to let out how much they liked him. But, they were right. And there may be gems in this draft that their college performances didn't show, because no way did Donovan Mitchell's college performance show he was going to make that kind of jump. And then other guys, like, that's one of the things that it kind of makes me laugh. Like, you and I are both a lot older than when we first met, but when you mentioned I've been doing this 16 years, the draft for 16 years, and when I first started doing this, man, I was so secure in my convictions about a player. I may have been wrong, but I was I believed it down to my socks. Now I'm looking at it going, well, maybe, here's what I think, but, I don't know. I wind up like hedging on everything because I know, we just don't know. And I don't think they know in football either. I don't believe they do. I think you have belief sets. But, a lot of really smart basketball people looked at Steph Curry when he came out and said, he's going to struggle. I don't see him translating as well. And now that Curry did so well, now we're looking at Trae Young going, yep, he's Steph Curry. And I'm not sure it's that simple.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.